The new American economy suggests a massive skills mismatch, with thousands of graduates deciding which restaurant to wait tables at. Joel Kurtzman has thought about these things. He's author of Unleashing the Second American Century. We'll talk about optimism and pessimism here in a bit, but first, through the half hour, Joel Kurtzman on some of the challenges that graduates and non-graduates face. I guess I go back to the graduate, plastics. You're supposed to go into plastics. And now the angst is there's nothing to go into now. Do you see that out there?
No, I don't. I see and hear a lot of people talk about that all the time. Parties, wherever you go, people are so pessimistic. But it's unfounded. We're really at the beginning of a new age of innovation. You can see it in the sciences. You can see it in medicine. It's everywhere, and people are not paying attention.
Okay, so did you give a commencement speech this year?
No.
Okay, so let's say Joel Kurtzman goes out to whatever school, Tulane, Brendan's Tulane, and you give a commencement speech. What's your message to graduates?
My message would be study, and all this talk about automation killing jobs, robots killing jobs, untrue. Don't pay any attention to it. My view about robots, they're getting so much attention. Robots are Robin and people are Batman. So the robots are going to be the assistants all the time. They're not going to be wearing the cape. They're not going to rush in.
He's just got booked for 3 commencement speeches. There's a university that's going to pay you $100,000 to show up at the commencement speech wearing a Batman outfit.
I will be there.
Well, the second question with automation is not just about jobs, but about growth in general. And all of the innovations that we've hailed of, say, the last 15 years have proven ineffective at creating growth. The assumption was always that innovation creates growth. That's not true. Do you think that will be true again in the future?
Yeah, but it's going to be a different kind of growth. I mean, what we've experienced over the last 50, 60 years has been jobs accompanying growth in lockstep.
Yeah.
That's not the way it's going to happen anymore. Jobs are growing, but they're going at a much slower rate than the economy as a whole, and they're concentrating. We have shortages in the high-tech sector.
Yeah.
We have shortages of workers in biotech and so forth.
So do you want a graduate to do STEM? I mean, that's what this comes down to within graduates, and we'll talk about a blue-collar America in our next section. But do you want STEM education, or are you as Zakaria that we need the liberal arts as well?
No, I think we need both. You know, we have to be well-rounded human beings. This is a planet for human beings.
Don't look at me, look at Donnie when you're talking well-rounded human beings.
You know, there's all this talk about computers and coding and STEM and so forth, but what about the energy industry? Is it no longer a time for going into mining and energy?
No, all these things, you know, it remains a time for mining, for all the basic industries. They're just going to be done differently. They're going to be done more in conjunction with machines. We're getting we're thousands of times more productive than many emerging market countries. So the problems are not here. The problems are in the emerging markets. They're the ones who have not made the transition to the service economies yet. People look at the emerging markets as a place to invest. It's not true. The place to invest is here because we made the leap. We went through this terrible, difficult transition in the 40s and 50s, and that's different.
You know, we're also coming out of this time of growth when people are expected to work very hard. One of the things that college graduates are saying is that they want a better quality of life. People who run company look at that and say, you know, slackers, I'm slightly younger, and I feel like I'm glad that they're fighting this fight. It's an important fight.
Yeah, well, we could have, you know, 20 years ago we had the chance to make a decision. Do we work half as hard and get the same amount of money, or do we work twice as hard and get 4 times the amount of money? And we chose the money. And now a lot of people are saying, is that the right choice? We have all these machines.
All right, let me jump in. Tom, for the record, I choose working half as hard. Let me just, like, make that clear.